Hello, Libra, and welcome to your 2019 February 1st to the 15th reading. Yes, I did it right. It's really good. Congratulations on being number 3 this month. I was talking in Pisces reading, if you haven't watched it already, about how you guys have been going neck for neck since you guys blew my channel up last year. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what am I doing? I forgot I got a Valentine's Day surprise for you. Because I don't know if we're going to talk on Valentine's Day. Even though we probably will, 9 times out of 10. Got you a card. Here, Libra. Okay. You can't? Okay. No, you can't take it. Oh, okay. Go ahead. I'm going to read it for you. I'm truly fortunate to have you in my life, Libra. And I don't need a cookie to tell me that. But I'll take one anyway. You know I love a cookie. Love your Taurus friend, Princess Cynthia. Happy Valentine's Day, Libra. So, we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at you as well as your cross watcher. While I get this little thing going, I'll go ahead and let you know that my personal readings are going to be opening very soon. I'm just integrating the little POS system into my site, so everyone who's on the waiting list will be notified sooner than later of when you guys can start getting these readings and things. And if you haven't already, if you wanted to get a personal reading with me, what I'm doing is I have a waiting list because I haven't done readings since last year, and everyone that's on the waiting list is going to get notified first. And once everyone on the waiting list is complete, then I'm going to announce it to the general public. So if you are interested in getting a reading, get on that list. And if you're interested in the Reiki 1 certification, the pre-registration for that course is also on my site as well. Everything else you need to know is in the description box below. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to go ahead and ask Spirit to give us clear and direct guidance for my Librans for February 1st through the 15th, please, Spirit. Anything that they need to know, anything of utmost importance, anything that will assist them in reference to their love lives. You know what I'm saying, and whatnot or whatever. First card is going to be for Libra, the second for their cross watcher. So Libra, one thing I can tell you for sure. You and Pisces got something going on. Why do I know? Because not just did you come out, did you? No, I'm lying. Maybe you might have something going on with Gemini too. Wait, no. Did you come out in Pisces Dice of Resonance? I think you came out in both of them. But anywho, don't quote me on that, but I think you did. But anyway, but the whole deal is, man, there's some type of goings on with y'all. Because I don't know if it was something that ended up coming up in their reading that had something to do with what came up in you guys' January. You know? So I don't know what's going on with that. Y'all got some type of like connection. Or maybe you just have Libra in your chart and you're a Pisces, or you're a Libra with Pisces in your chart. I don't know these things. Anyway, first card, Libra. Second card is for Pisces, please, Spirit. Whoa. First card for Libra, be supportive. Make a genuine effort to show you care. Libra. Be supportive, eh? Okay, and for your cross watcher, focus on love. Look for the good attributes in each and every person in your life. Interesting. First thing that kind of comes to mind for me, I feel like somebody is struggling with something. Do I know what that something is? I have no idea. I haven't pulled a card yet. But I feel like someone... Wow, that was a really fortune teller like statement, huh? I feel like you're struggling with something. Fishing. Okay. No, I feel like someone is struggling with something. I don't know if it's something as serious as addiction. I don't know if it's something as serious as addiction. It very well could be. Or someone's inner demons. And I feel this more outside of Libra than Libra themselves. So I want to tell Libra that those of you who are in couples or married, whatever the case may be, I feel like your partner is kind of struggling with something, you know, whether that's an addiction, the loss of a loved one, if they're in therapy, because that's something that I talk to family members, whether it's, you know, husbands, wives, you know, parents, kids, whatever, of those who are in therapy, is that the therapeutic process at times, especially if we're talking about trauma, like childhood trauma, things have a tendency to get worse before they get better. Because if you think about, and I say that lightly, meaning in the sense of, if, okay, there's something you've been repressing since childhood. So not repressing like, you know, like forgetting it happened, but being aware that you experienced some sense of trauma, or even like PTSD, like in relation to like post-combat. And you had this experience, you were traumatized by it, but you don't talk about it. You know, like you don't bring it up, you don't discuss it, you don't express your emotions in reference to it. You go see a therapist, and the very first time that we're ever kind of digging into that is in this session, right? Well, a number of sessions. And it's kind of thinking about like a lake, you know, and the water's like clear, but when you start to walk through it, it's kicking up the dirt at the bottom, so it kind of makes it kind of cloudy. So it's kind of like that. It's like kicking up dirt, you know? So sometimes things get worse before they get better. And what I do is offer like psychoeducational resources and sometimes courses, especially if it's something dealing with addiction, for loved ones of my clients, just to kind of give them a gist of the therapeutic process so they know what to expect. But that's kind of what I'm sensing here is that so if you do have a partner that's in therapy, or even if it's a family member, you know, or even if it's you, you know, if your therapist hasn't already, because y'all know I'm extra, you know, but if your therapist hasn't already, I would ask for, you know, maybe some pamphlets or little printouts that they can give you in reference to whatever your partner or family member, child, what have you, is dealing with, to give you a better understanding so that you can be more supportive for them. Because I don't feel like it's a neglectful type of thing. I think it's just that, you know, you may not know or understand what the person is going through, if that makes sense. But anywho, we're going to do 3 cards for Libra. The popos. It was a loud siren. Jeez. Anywho, we're going to do, y'all know I live in New Orleans, leave me alone. We're going to do 3 cards for Libra and 3 cards for your cross watcher. From the tarot of sexual magic, freak nasty with them scales. Y'all know what's up. Y'all are the reason. What am I tripping for? Libra, y'all are the whole reason why I have this deck right now. You understand me? I never see things that I saw in the Rider-Waite that day that I read for y'all. Freak nasty with them scales. Ooh, you're nasty. You're nasty, Libra. I was seeing stuff all in the romance angels. I don't know what kind of stuff y'all on, dog, but it's just gonna get worse. Got this deck. I'm a prude. Anyway, first card we have for Libra. Oh, 2 of Wands. Oh, then we have the Chariot. Oh, man. What's going on here? I sense, oh, man, yeah, y'all might be connecting with Gemini. I sense a tad bit of fear of commitment here, but more along the lines of planning for the future. But this could be for a number of reasons. It doesn't necessarily have to be because you're non-committal. It could literally be because you're struggling financially, you know, and don't really want to plan for the future right now because you're not, you know, feeling confident about how things are panning out for you. That's very interesting. You're kind of confused. You want, like, okay, I know I'm going to have to clarify this. And then the thing that Spirit is telling me, another way to show that you care, Libra, is honesty. because this is reminding me of the energy I felt in Geminis. Because they were, I want stability, but I fear commitment, right? But I feel like for you guys, like, you want to come to a balance within yourself. You want to reconcile within yourself and figure out where the hell you're going. Because I feel like right now you guys feel pulled in two different directions, right? Libra's a little indecisive right now, you know? They don't know which way to go, you know? And I think in reference to a person, it's like, you don't know. Oh, and then I got another message here. It's a lot of messages coming through. Okay. So this particular Libra that I'm talking to. Oh, okay. You want to make plans for the future, but I feel like you may not know if you want to make plans for the future with this particular person, though. Right? So I feel like the relationship, I don't want to say that it's broken, but I feel like it's kind of stagnant and has been for a while. And ideally, you would ideally you would want to be able to work it out and be very passionate about working it out and moving forward and so on and so forth. But then there's another part of you that kind of wants to completely retreat, you know? And I think, and I don't know if this is any measure of how long you guys have been together, because honestly, for this first group of Libras, I'm going to be honest, I really feel like you guys really don't want to be with this person anymore. Like, I feel like the relationship has kind of run its course, and it could potentially be a Cancer person. But I feel like you guys feel this relationship has run its course, and kind of the place where you guys are in the relationship presently, like, I feel like you guys have been together for so long, it's kind of about that time for you guys to go to the next level of commitment, right? And you guys are terrified of that even being suggested. So, like, if it's a female Libra that I'm talking to, you are terrified at the idea of this person proposing to you, because you don't know how on earth you would say, you know, that's very kind of you to propose to me. Really nice ring, but kind of not feeling this, you know. If you could stand up, like, if you could stand up, like, okay, I'm going to walk away. You know, trying to say that in a nice way. But, I mean, I feel like the thing is that you guys want to come to a place, but I feel like you're feeling more tugged towards doing you. And I don't know if that's because maybe, I don't know if you guys are married already, if you guys have been committed for a while, but I kind of get the gist that this is a couple that's been together, and I just heard trauma bonding. So this is kind of like one of those situations where, okay, say two people were in recovery, right? So you were an alcoholic, the other person was an alcoholic, you guys were in recovery, you met in AA, started dating, you both stayed sober, but who you were right out of rehab, right, wasn't really who you were. It was kind of like you getting to know yourself outside of the addiction, right? Because who we are when we're addicted, where people are more or less interacting with the addiction as opposed to our authentic selves, right? Because it's a whole bondage thing. And so it's like a false version of ourselves. So it's like with you, it's almost like being like on training wheels, like a toddler on training wheels, so to speak, when you first came out of this traumatic situation. But you two were bonded in the fact of the trauma. So it really wasn't their personality or, you know, the things you guys had in common. The main contributing factor that brought you guys together was the specific trauma. Now, a disclaimer. I'm not saying specifically that this is only addiction. It could have been anything. It could have been being in a support group. I don't know why this is so much of a therapeutic reading, but it could have been you guys being in a support group for, I don't know, millennials who lost their dogs. I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? You guys could have met at a yoga retreat or something. And, you know, both have lost a parent or something of the sort. But it was some sort of loss in each of your lives that brought the two of you together. But that was the bonding agent. It really wasn't getting to know the person, because I feel like at the time it was more of a codependency, because neither one of you really knew yourself. And this is sounding eerily familiar to something I've said before. I don't remember who. That's been happening a lot. Oh my goodness. Anyway, moving right along. But I feel like now Libra is coming to a place where you're coming into your own and you're getting very clear on who you are and what you want. And although it's almost like being with this person out of an obligation, it's feeling like they've done so much for me, or we've been together so long, or, you know, I don't know my life sober without them, or they don't know their life sober without me, that it's kind of like a guilt that's making you stay. So it was more or less staying because that's what you're supposed to do, like should, ought, supposed to's, and not really so much from a heartfelt place. And the fear is speaking the truth about this, you know. But I feel like you kind of already know what you want to do. And it's not the person. It's not saying that they're a horrible person or a bad person. It's just you're seeing that the two of you don't really mesh well, right? Anymore. Oh, well, that's a done deal. The death card. Yeah, dog. Okay, Libra. I'm just going to go ahead and be real with you, boo thing. And you know what? You guys may be dealing with a Cancer, because this was a long theme that was coming up somewhere around August, September for, I don't remember if it was in Libra's readings, but it was a great deal with Cancer and Leo, if I'm not mistaken. But it was the same theme over and over and over again of saying that it's a relationship that was far past its expiration date. And it's like both of the people are there out of obligation. So either it was like, we have kids together, we've been together since high school, whatever, but there were no feelings there. But the thing is that the new beginnings for both people couldn't come in until you decided to let each other go, because it had come to the point where this was toxic. And not necessarily saying that it had to be abusive. It's just that it was toxic because it's no longer contributing to your highest good, and it was taking more than it was giving, you know? And this is the place that I see you guys coming to. And you guys very well may be dealing with a Cancer. Dude, because I remember, because that was the craziest like vision I saw. In Cancer's reading months ago, I said, when you let this situation go, I said, both of you are going to be happy moving forward, because you're both going to step into alignment with what's really for you, right? But what I saw for Cancer was like two horses, like the Chariot. It was a white horse and a black horse. And, you know, they didn't have a chariot with them, but it's like the Cancer person was standing in the desert, like in the middle of nowhere. There was nothing, like no buildings, no people, no water, no trees, just nothing, no camels, nothing. Okay. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, because it's like they stepped out of that relationship into a barren desert, and out of nowhere, a white horse and a black horse came around to rescue the Cancer. And I saw that as their spirituality, their personal growth and development, in their career life, in their love life. So it was almost as if their love life, like their internal world, their love life and their career were all going to come into alignment and manifest in their life at once. So if you're Libra and you have Cancer in your chart, then you may want to go back and look at that. I might post that underneath. But the thing is, with being supportive, is needing to have a conversation and to be honest about this and planning moving forward. So if you guys are married, and you're without a shadow of a doubt sure that this is done deal, but with me seeing the death card, this is confirmation, especially with it being two major arcanas. That's indicative of a major shift that's occurring. And of course, we know that the major arcana are spiritual lessons that are out of our control, right? So it's one of those, you know, rhythms of the universe, right? Things got to move it along. So I feel like with Libra, you guys already know the deal. You already know what's up. You already know how you feel. You know the right thing to do. But being supportive is the love that you have for this person that may no longer be a romantic love, right? It's more of a supportive love that's respectful of the friendship and the bond that the two of you shared, and making sure that both of you are straight moving forward. So hypothetically, if you were married, it's like no messiness with the divorce and all of that. It's like, you know, separation of property. This is mine, this is yours. You know what I'm saying? You got the kids, you can stay in the house. I'll go get an apartment. You know, drawing up custody agreements and not, you know, trying to make each other jealous on social media and all this other kind of stuff. It's just making sure that you're supportive of this person's process with unwinding, because I feel that you're going to have to be the one to make the executive decision here, because I feel like they're very reliant on you, and I don't feel like, not necessarily that they haven't done the growth, but it's like they're very codependent on you, and you came into your own, and I feel like you loving them is taking this stance to not allow them to be dependent on you anymore, if that makes any sense. Wow, man, these readings just getting so damn deep. On to your cross watcher. Focus on love. Look for the good attributes in each and every person in your life. Interesting. First card for the cross watcher is the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Fearing the inevitable and attempting to avoid the inevitable is the first thing I heard with that. And then we have the Five of Wands. Oh, man. And then we have the Queen of Chalices. That's my therapist card. So somebody needs to get some therapy going on here. All right, cross watcher. And yeah. Here's the thing. Cross watchers, you know, this, maybe you resonate with the first row. I mean, Spirit isn't doing a loud trumpet announcement like he did in a good old Gemini there, but not Gemini, Pisces. But I just want to say this because how this is about to come out, okay? Just letting you know ahead of time how this is about to come out, okay? All right, so anyway, when we talk about going back to this narrative with Libra, with this being the person that Libra is connecting with, right? And I say this only if, so cross watcher, if you resonate with this narrative up here and you feel like this isn't you, then maybe this is, okay? But if not, then, you know, we'll see as we go forward. But anyway, but because I feel like this is more for Libra. With the other person, your person, Libra, is battling their inner demons. And a lot of, it's like, what they want, it's like, I'm not like, okay, I don't think that they're delusional. I just think that they're in denial, okay? Because it's two things I'm getting here, right? They know, they're fully aware that y'all aren't where you used to be. They're aware of this. They don't want to accept that, though. It's more or less them like being unrealistic. And I mean, this happens a lot in relationships, but it's like problems don't fix themselves. Like, they just don't. As much as we wish that things just fix themselves, they just don't. That it does not work like that, you know? It's the thought of like, okay, we have all of these problems and all of these conflicts now. Like, we're on two different playing fields now. Like, you know, we have nothing in common and we argue about everything now, but one day everything's going to fall into place. But how? if there's no choices that are being made in a direction, if there's no conversations being had, if there's no compromises being made, if there's no understanding that's being cultivated between two people, the problems that are there are being swept under the rug, and they will stay there until they're dealt with, right? So things don't just, end up being different. Just realize y'all can see my tummy. Is my chub out? Hold on, wait a minute. I don't want y'all seeing my little gut. Wait a minute, Libra. Can't have y'all seeing my little gut now, my little pooch. A little too close for comfort we got there now, Libra. Okay. Anyway. So yeah. But the other thing is, what they're wanting isn't realistic because there's no energy or effort that's being put in that direction, right? Now, the other thing with this is, it's the awareness that this isn't working, and knowing that you would probably, because this is, I feel like, the compassion they have. They know that you're not 100% happy, but then at the same time, they really don't want to see you happy with anyone else, right? But it's like, I know I'm not 100% happy. I know you're not 100% happy, but, I kind of don't want to see you happy with someone else either. You know what I mean? So that's a conflicting nature with them. Now, when it comes to, where they are presently, it's like, I feel like they know this is coming. Okay, so that's what I want to say to Libra, in the sense of, if you are afraid of shocking them, a part of them, even though they don't want to admit that, they know that this is coming, right? They don't want to believe it, but they know, right? And I can even say, for my cross watchers, whether you resonate with this or not, the reason why you guys' overall energy is focused on love is because, when the Libra person, or if the Libra person, if you resonate with this, because I say y'all, it's general, you know what I'm saying? It's saying everybody and their mama. If you don't feel this vibe, this is not something that's going to come as a shock. Both people here already know what's up. One is just in denial of it. The other one is in guilt. Okay. But anyway, so the whole deal here is to focus on love. And I feel that more in the sense of love of self. Love of self says, I need to admit the truth about this situation. I know that I'm not happy here, and to hold a person or myself hostage just because I don't want to see the person with someone else, it's more or less choosing from a place of love. I need to be realistic about this. You know what I'm saying? And I feel the most important thing going forward is focusing on yourself, because I feel like there's a lot of healing that has not happened, right? There's still some demons that need to be battled. And there's a need to exhibit self-compassion as well as compassion for Libra, in the sense of being honest. So it's more or less to not demonize the person, because that happens a lot of times in relationships too. It's like, we know the truth, we know what's up, we know that this isn't working anymore, but it's like, when the other person says it, it's like, how could you? You're such a horrible person, and da 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 da. And I know Libras. Libras don't want to hurt people. Libras are gentle souls, dagnabbit. Believe me when I tell you, if they are on the Scorpio cusp, my goodness, they are even more little mushy marshmallows on the inside. You know what I'm saying? But Libra wants to keep the peace. Libra is and don't take this the wrong way, Libras. Y'all are kind of like natural people pleasers, not so much in a negative way, but in a way like how Taurus is. We want to keep everything harmonious and even keel. Have you ate? Do you need a nap? You good? You need me for anything? You need a little shoulder to cry on? It's like, I'm here. Just want to make sure everybody's good. So we want to keep things harmonious. You guys, the same, because, we're children of Venus. You want to keep things balanced. We want to keep things nice and aesthetically pleasing and relaxing and, be of service and things of the sort. So Libra is very vulnerable to being guilt tripped. Libras can be very easily guilt tripped into things. And I feel like the cross watcher person or person of interest, whatever this is, however it resonates, I feel like they know that. And I feel like that is a lot of the reason why Libra is still here, is because of guilt tripping, right? So I feel like it's kind of time to have like a coming to Jesus moment, in the sense, with the cross watcher person, of needing to, instead of focusing on one's own self-preservation, it's like opening your heart to love, in the sense of, like how I say with Libra being supportive of this person with the detachment. It's like the cross watcher person, instead of, you know, reacting in anger or trying to make, you know, the other person feel guilty, or like, how could you do this type of thing? It's needing to tap back into that love of the bonding of friendship that was there prior to the romance, and say, you know, as a person, I love you and I want what's best for you. And this is like a very mature breakup, dude. Like, I'm being so for real. To break up like this is like how you break up with honor. And it requires two people who are emotionally mature and very self-honest to stand up and say, this isn't working for either of us, and it's not fair for either of us to hold the other one here. It's just not. And I feel like this is a challenge that, and like I said, with the cross watcher person, it's a challenge. You have two roads that are laid out in front of you with this. It's like Libra's gonna come have this conversation, and the cross watcher has a choice of who they're going to be in that moment. And this has been the theme this whole month. Will you choose from love, which is a sense of this benefiting everyone, right? What's in my best interest as well as the other person? Or will you choose from fear, which is self-preservation, and only this benefiting me? You know what I mean? Am I able to step outside of myself? Not saying that you won't hurt, not saying you won't cry, not saying that you won't be in pain, but can I step out of myself and be honest and say, this really isn't working, and this is becoming toxic for both of us, and I think we both deserve to be happy, but I can agree it's not going to be with each other. That's very amicable. It's not easy. I'm telling you, it's really not, because it requires a lot of emotional maturity to break up that way, especially if you're getting divorced. It's very, very hard. But I feel like for both of you, this is a huge spiritual lesson. For Libra, this is a testament to your strength. This is your gateway of showing you that you're a lot stronger than you thought. This is you standing up for yourself and not self-compromising, but not standing up for yourself in a way that you are taking anything from anyone else or stepping on another person's toes. It's more or less acting in that place of love, of saying, this is what's best for me, but this is also what's best for you, and taking that into consideration, right? Even though it's an ending of a situation. And for the same for the cross watcher person, it's an opportunity for you to step into your power and into your growth, and it's a doorway into your healing process, because you allowing this to be a truth you recognize and attest to, of saying, yes, this does scare me. No, I don't want to leave. You know, I don't want us to go our separate ways, but I know it's for the best, because I need to work on myself, right? You know what I mean? But I do feel like you feel this coming. But with my Queen of Cups, I always see that as my therapist card. So going forward, I think with this ending, this opens the door for the cross watcher even too, to go into their place of healing. And I do feel that both of you are going to find happiness, you know. But the beauty and the happiness is the fact that, you know, setting each other free is how I want to say it. The ability to set each other free, setting yourself as well as the other free, so that the two of you can align with your paths, right? That are laid out for the both of you. You know? Man, that's real. That's real heavy. Whew. That's interesting. I'm gonna throw the dice of resonance. That's That's a lot. That's a really heavy energy that I'm feeling. But kudos to you guys if y'all are able to come to that place. That's mad respect. But if you're not familiar with the Dice of Resonance, it's a little art project to have. They have 12 zodiac signs on here, as well as different roles a person can play in your life, whether it's sun, moon, or rising. And you also have the ability to ask a yes or no question, you know? So the answers you can get are yeses, nos, and time-sensitive answers. In the event that a time-sensitive answer comes out, you would take that as a yes and the time frame in which it would happen. So if you want to ask your question, you can pause me now, not when I'm making a really gross, ugly face. Okay. But I'm going to toss them out. I don't interpret them or anything. It's just, you know, however they fall and however this reading resonates. You know what I'm saying? Dang. Y'all shorter than Pisces, but I had a feeling this was going to happen like this. All right. So we have Aries. We have Sagittarius. We have yes. We have rising and co-worker or boss. So they can be an Aries or a Sag rising. The answer to your question is yes. And a role that a person could play, and however you think this resonates, is co-worker or boss. You know what I'm saying and whatnot, whatever. Well, Libra, that was heavy. Feel like I need to go ground myself, you know, take a little swig of water or something, you know. But that's been your February 1st through 15th reading. I love your freaking face. And, you know, if my tummy gut was out, just pretend like you didn't see it, you know. Kangaroo pouch age, dagnabbit. But I love your face, Libra. I'll see you sooner than later. Deuces.